2, 3, 4.
What's up, Raider Nation? Another Tuesday. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Check.
Wait, what?
Check. Welcome to another Flyer Night Rob show with Black Hole. No, check.
Wait a minute.
Check.
Oh, wait.
Check. Welcome to Where a Stoner Dude and the Raider Rob Black Hole step. No, check.
Check it off, baby.
It's the Checkoff Show.
All right. It's the Checkoff Show.
Check it off, baby.
Live show.
Raider Rob, the beautiful Black Hole step with you
Check
on
it off.
another Tuesday night.
Woo!
Live here in Las Vegas for you on RaiderFan Radio, YouTube, the world's #1 video network. And yes, it's great to be with you. Stoner Dude, he's a little wrapped up in his artistic pursuits, making music, doing his thing, and also prepping for a very special show that we've got coming up for you guys.
Yes.
So Stone won't be here tonight, but he's here in spirit. Don't forget, we're pushing the Stoner Dude coloring book. Now, this is great for Christmas. Stocking stuffer, as you call them, or, you know, you just want to get it as a standalone gift for somebody artistic
Right. It's a perfect
in your
time.
family or somebody that's in the drawing, young children, what have you. Well, maybe not too young. Yeah, there is a stamp of, you know.
It is an adult coloring book.
Stamp of adult material. But anyway, at stonerdudeart.com, you can cop the Stoner Dude coloring book, 24 full pages of some great artwork by our man Stoner Dude. So he's here in spirit, and make sure you send your comments, of course, to RaiderFanRadio@gmail, and Stone will read them the next show 29. And I think we got a Christmas show or something coming up for y'all before that, in between time. So
right, if
anyway.
you remember the Christmas show from last year.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it was show number 12.
Satan showed up.
Yep. Satan and Santa kicked it and got blazed. That was a cool show. And we look forward to seeing what's up Stone's sleeve coming up for the Xmas show of 2021. I'm bah humbug all the way. I'm never into anything having to do with Christmas.
I know.
So we'll see if I'm able to get some sort of festive energy going.
This is when this time of year, she becomes a Black Hole Scrooge.
Okay. Black Hole Grinch.
Straight Black Hole Scrooge. Anyway, here in Vegas, man, as you just said, blazing. Blaze one for the nation right now, matter of fact.
Yes, please.
We need it. All them motherfuckers need to be smoking some weed.
Okay.
What a disastrous. Well, we'll get to that, but this is officially the 6 and 6 show because we are 6 and 6. And add one more 6, and we've got a hell of a fucked up season.
Okay.
Okay.
That's well said, Raider Rob. Just looking at what's happened to us and being in the same position that we were in last year. And then, having all the fans, put in their comments, logging on to Instagram, logging on to Facebook.
Yeah, big ups to our Instagram crew and our Instagram following that's really growing out there. We appreciate all of y'all subscribing to the IG, and we're trying to keep that getting flipped a little more with more content for you. And the website is still coming.
It's still pending.
It's still coming. Don't trip. But when it does, it's going to hit big, and that'll be another space for us to really get down and do our thing and, broaden out our repertoire here.
Broaden our horizons.
Yeah.
Lawrence?
I hope all you Washington Redskins fans, Deadskins fans, made it back home safely, because it was damn sure a lot of you here in the LV, man.
Yeah. A little bit too many. That
a little bit
cool.
too many. You know what it reminds me of? I thought about all these fans that are now coming to Raider home games in mass numbers.
Yeah.
It reminds me a little bit because, the Oakland intimidation factor is gone now.
Right.
You know,
the home field advantage.
Yeah, the home field advantage we had at the Oakland Coliseum. And so what you have now is you have people not feeling like, you know, there's much to worry about. And not, again, like I said a couple of shows ago, not so much physical violence, whatever. It was just we weren't intimidating, and we had a reputation as a fan base. And it was just known, even the media pushed it, that, and you all growed up on football. You saw the clips over the years of the stadium and even back in the 70s and 80s. You know, the Coliseum wasn't no place if you were a opposing fan to come to.
That's right.
Knowing you was going to really be uncomfortable. Let's just put it like that.
Right.
We had a way of making it real motherfucking uncomfortable for you. You know what I'm saying?
Which was the point.
And we took pride in that.
That's right.
But the bottom line is now, this whole, just, you know, between Chicago, 20,000 fans, all them fans from Cincinnati.
The Chiefs fans took over also, which is never acceptable. And then fast forward to this last game against Washington, the Redskins, the whole lower, you know, bowls were pretty much filled with Redskins fans.
Which, the upper deck, the mezzanine, they were everywhere. You know, but the bottom line is, you know, for me, it's kind of reminiscent in the hip-hop game when you had, you know, after the East Coast, West Coast wars of the 90s and Biggie and Pac got shot, you know, they killed, motherfuckers wasn't coming to the West Coast.
Right.
But as soon as Suge Knight went to prison,
it was like
the first time and the second time, all of the Puffies, the Jay-Z's, the RJs, the friggin' Wu-Tang Clan, all of them had their ass in California down in LA. And this is what it felt comfortable. You know, because the, you know, so-called bully of the industry and the whole West Coast, you know, hardcore attitude towards East Coast had subsided. We should not being out there in the face of it, and kind of like the breaking up of Death Row. And that's like, you know, the Oakland Raider Nation. We were like Death Row. You know what I'm saying? And now we're all splintered and all that and fractured. And now motherfuckers feel like they can come out here and take advantage of being up in our face.
But you mentioned this originally before this even happened, that if the Raiders were going to come here and stink up the joint here in Las Vegas, that eventually it will be the place where visiting teams come to just have a good time and watch football. And that's something you never wanted. But because we have, you know, an owner that is not really present, not really not a member of the nation,
or administration that's not proactive about, like we've been preaching on here, getting Las Vegans, you know,
the
fans.
Home field advantage.
I mean, you have to tap into the legacy of Las Vegas sports fans, going back to the Running Rebels, UNLV with Jerry Tarkanian, back to Armand Gilliam, all the way through Stacey Augman and Moses Scurry and Anderson Hunt and all them, you know, Greg Anthony, Larry Johnson. There was an atmosphere inside the Shark Tank. It was called the Shark Tank, way before San Jose. You know, the Thomas and Mack, and then the Las Vegas Convention Center before that was the Shark Tank. You know what I'm saying? Because of Jerry Tarkanian. But there was this culture here, you know, of the Las Vegas locals that was rambunctious, loud, rowdy, party.
Like a Knights game.
Knights come along, it's the same thing. The Aviators have a vibe going in. Even the USL Lights have a great vibe. We've been to a few games out there at Cashman Field. You know, when you tap into the local market, these people are sports crazy. And they understand sports. And they love big-time sports. You know, and so the Raiders dropped the ball, not tapping into, you know, more of the local culture and bringing them into the fold. You know, and, you know, giving motherfucker a hometown discount. So you can feel that place with Las Vegas and Raider fans.
Exactly.
You know, because, and then all this sitting down. You know, everybody's sitting down like at the motherfucking symphony and shit.
Hey, a jazz concert.
Yeah, you know, you a fucking Grover Washington Jr. show or some shit.
They're real laid back, and it's really sad, you know. But we did mention that it wasn't going to be the same. You know, there's nothing like an Oakland crowd. And in terms of that, I mean, just that goes from concerts all the way down to our sports teams. All of them, fans represented loud and proud, A's, Warriors, Raiders in particular. And so this is the change that you're going to see, but you didn't ingratiate yourself to the community, like Raider Rob said, and you also didn't ingratiate yourself to longtime fans. In the beginning, those tickets were like $800 a pop. Now they've dropped, and these fans that are coming in visiting are getting the hookup, from the casinos and from the hotels that they're staying at.
And I mean, to get them off the street too, it's just, you rolled out ass backwards, and so it doesn't help that, you're putting a porous product out there on top of it.
Right.
And you can see it in the faces of the fans. I feel for you fans. I love you for representing the Raiders, though, and trying to stay with them. Some of you are very long-time fans, but I also feel for, like, some of my neighbors and some of the people that are here, that are around the neighborhood here at the studio where we're at and all that, that are new fans, I feel kind of guilty. I sold a lot of folks. So I get tickets.
A lot of tickets.
And, so I can feel the discontent.
Yeah.
With the locals that have invested, because much like Los Angeles, there's other shit to do.
Right.
And we're so blessed to live so good out here as far as, residential living and just the community that we have here in Las Vegas and, just how cool it is to live here. You can just be in the crib and kick it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And watch, that bullshit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we'll get a little deeper into that, in a moment here. Just wanted to say, though, hit us at RaiderFanRadio@gmail.com. All right, we are live. Like and subscribe and share. Hit the notification button so you know when we're on live and what have you. And those that are in the live chat or coming in, come on in. We are on, and I know here on the West Coast, a lot of people still getting home from work or what have you. But make sure you catch the replay. Once we're done in about 45 minutes here, it'll replay. So hit us up, hit the comments and all that. And that's what's up with that. I want to say also out the gate, Legion Stadium did have a pretty momentous occasion. The first Pac-12, we're from the old Pac-12.
Oh, yeah.
We're from Cal, Roll on, you Bears. They had the first Pac-12 championship, and Utah won.
All right.
And the reason why I'm so happy about the Utes is because Uncle Rob here is part of my calling it. And another thing that I got called, keep your eye on, ones to watch. And one to watch is Cameron Rising, the rising sophomore quarterback for the Utah Utes, who beat Oregon twice in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
To end the season and get Utah into the playoff. And then they beat them a few days ago over the weekend at Allegiant for the Pac-12 championship. Cameron Rising up in Utah. He's one to watch. He's my new Trevor. Okay. Kid's got swag. He's got a big arm. He's got a lot of moxie, as they say. Look it up.
He's got flowing hair.
He's got flowing hair. Another hair man. Another hair man with hair.
A lot of these quarterbacks, these young quarterbacks, are letting loose. They're not so clean cut.
My boy Justin Herbert grew his shit back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm letting mine get a little longer. You know what I'm saying? You bumperclots. But yeah, it's going down. Cameron Rising, one to watch. And that's like I said, I'm going to be doing some features on some of the players that I've been keeping my eye on coming out of college that the Raiders should be having an eye on in the future. Possible future Raiders, and Cameron Rising right up the freeway here in Utah is one to watch.
Oh, so like Stone said, it would be easy to just drive down because you're on that 15.
I'll go get him.
You just come through. Cameron
2
Rising.
years. Or no, he may come out next year as a junior.
Yeah.
I'd like to say let him stay at school too, because I still have aspirations that something may happen with Trevor. It's happened before.
Yeah.
You've had rookie quarterbacks that only played a few years where they were drafted. Jim Plunkett comes to mind. And a few, they were out there in a couple. Sam Darnold recently.
Right.
So you don't necessarily, even if you are the number one pick, have to stay where you're at after a couple of years. And Jacksonville's a fucking mess. Okay. They need EMT and Hazard and FEMA and a whole bunch of help down there. That motherfucker. Okay.
As usual, they're not prepared. They come into the season, and they're 2-10 right now. So not a lot of help for Trevor Raider. And maybe one day he will come here. But right now, the fans...
He's crushing them Subway commercials, though.
I know, with his flowing hair. The fans are calling for the heads of our general manager, our coach, and our offensive coordinator in particular this week didn't get very good ratings amongst fans. Fans are pissed. They're sick of seeing the same kind of momentum this year as there were in the last 8 years, or at least the last 7. So something's got to be done. Something's got to give, because people are as Raider fans, Raider Nation, we're not jumping ship. We're on the ship, but we're about to make some people walk the plank and get if they don't get it together.
Well, I mean, let's stop fucking around. Let's get to the Carfax. Okay? Because as much as everybody likes to misdirect and try to blame the defense, especially the defense that we have with a mix of youngsters and veterans, but they are gelling and they are able to get stops. You still have to understand it's not a defensive unit that has played together for 2-3 years.
Right.
So what production you are getting from them is exceptional for the fact that we have so many rookies and young guys plugged in. That being said, they have been able to cohesively build a competent defensive unit that you can trust and know that you can get a stop when you need one. That there is no quit in this defense. They will fight through. But fighting through late in the third and fourth quarters with only, a 7-point lead, maybe a 3-point lead, or you're behind 7, or you're behind 10. It's hard for a defense, again, that is growing together, showing sparks of being a bona fide unit, but still, you have young meshing with old. You have the combination of Gus Bradley trying to find that works consistently. And I think the defensive line works consistently, melding in with our linebackers. Perryman, like I said, was going to be a star here as middle linebacker.
Yes.
And I love to see what Hobbs has done. Faishon, 35, the free agent from a couple of weeks ago. He's good. He's just got to get better angles, learn his assignments a little more when it comes to just picking up underneath. Still not enough physicality for me. Max and Ngakwe and the guys in the front, they're physical.
They got pressure.
But, on our back field, defensive backfield, just still not enough physicality other than Abram. And again, got to play the ball. Got to Mooring played the ball, had the interception, that would have probably sealed the game. My thing with this defense, man, is still Gus. Gus Bradley, for me, Gus is a bust right now. And we were all high the first 4 weeks as things were unraveling. But there's a thing called adjustments. And we're starting to see as teams start to separate from where we were 4 weeks ago, and then at the beginning of the season, and with all the losses that we had that we shouldn't have had, losing to Cincinnati, losing to the Giants, losing to the Bears. I mean, the Raiders should realistically be 9-3.
Right.
9-3 or even 10-2 possibly.
Right. But you can't keep these people these fans that keep blaming the defense for everything. You have to score touchdowns in the NFL. We're not scoring 15 points, 16 points, 17.
Yeah, defense like guards, you got to give them a lead. You got to give them at least a 10-point lead going into the late third quarter and fourth quarter, because we are, missing so much offensively in the first half.
Right.
And getting a late start, this defense is tired, man. They will eventually start to wear down, particularly if there's no incentive. Like I said, you got a young defense, a mess with veterans, trying to get to that place of being able to sustain for 4 quarters, despite what our offense does, and being able to shut down or whatever. But they're not there yet. And Gus, with the stubbornness and not blitzing, you're really hampering the athleticism. I said this a few shows ago that we have on the field, because we have some talented guys.
Right.
Mooring is talented. I love Nate Hobbs. Perryman.
Yeah.
So when you see the dominant play of a Ngakwe and what fucking Sax Crosby is doing out there, how much more complimentary, Raider Nation, is a blitz when you've got Nate Hobbs coming behind Crosby?
Right.
Okay, stunting. You watched last night with the Bills and the Patriots. The Bills are putting 7, 8 in the box, and unfortunately they're a bad tackling team and take some fucked up angles, for stopping the run when it comes to run defense. But with the play that we're getting surprisingly from our defensive tackles, you've got to take advantage of those athletic athletes that you got in the defensive backfield, like Abram, like Nate Hobbs, that you can move them up, send them on blitzes, corner blitzes, stunt them up the gate. Yeah, and you complement the athleticism and the dominant play of your bookends, Ngakwe and Crosby, who are steadily getting pressure. Both of them playing at an all-pro level. And it would even be highlighted even more if they had linebackers and DBs complimenting them by coming on some blitzes, you know, and making their job a little easier. Denzel Perryman showing up that middle. This is how Ray Lewis got big. You know, because he was able to get into these gaps and seams that the defensive linemen were opening up for him, but he also was coming on blitzes. You know, he was also coming on stunts too. And having to make plays in the backfield. And we've got the guys to do it. But they're limited it because of the stubbornness of Gus and not wanting to blitz.
Yeah, and that makes, like we discussed, it makes no sense to not blitz. That's part of the
game.
In
this modern NFL?
And just, you know, play a complete game where all of the positions are at bay. I think we were looking at another game where we saw a fullback action. And we haven't seen that for the Raiders in, you know, a long time. I know Ingold is out, but still, who's complimenting him? Who's backing up? Depth-wise, we have issues, and it looks like they brought back.
Well, we got rid of Groshek. We had Groshek. They should have, you know.
Groshek.
Go ahead, brought back who?
Should definitely be there, but they brought back Will Compton as a linebacker.
Who?
Exactly. They brought him back. He played for us in 2019.
Will Compton?
Yeah.
Where they find him walking around? South Central?
Exactly. I think he was playing for Tennessee and maybe got released. I don't even know.
That was an LA joke. Will Compton.
If he was
South Central
playing this year, but this dude, he wasn't overly productive for us. We're not going out there and getting people that can do what some of the classic Raider defensive backs did for us.
Well, you're not elevating the compliment to the players that you have. When you got a Denzel Perryman, you go get a guy that's equal to him or better if you can. I know it's tough with a free agent wire and what have you, but again, imagination. You know, and this is the thing that, for me, Richie Basiacci, or whatever the hell, Basiacco, this is it. You know, you had your opportunity. You know, they talked about how you're a guy from Yonkers, and this is your first chance, and you're really a good guy. You've been waiting your turn, and well, motherfucker, you ain't really done much with it. Now, I saw a little passion out of you yesterday. You do, you know, try to get in the ref's ass and all that, but you ain't worked up no credit yet. You know, and I don't think you are, because whatever you and Olsen are doing on your off days, or you in there right now over at 1475, when we're working on plays, you motherfuckers have got to come up with more imagination from somewhere. You were off 10 days. And that's the bullshit you came back with?
Same thing you've been doing.
And we don't want to hear about Henry Ruggs. We have no speed. Deshaun Jackson. Roll on you, man. From Cal. We love you, D-Jax. You know, we from up there. We know you. I used to go watch you play. Deshaun. Okay?
He should not be sitting on the
Should not be sitting. What is he doing sitting on third down?
You know?
What is he doing only getting 2 looks, 3 looks? This guy has world-class speed still at 34 years old.
Why did you go get him?
And what did you go get him for if you weren't going to use him?
I know.
Okay, he didn't get open. We always talk in this league about cagey veterans. The cagey veteran. You know, this team should get a cagey veteran. This team would be great with a cagey veteran that knows how to get da-da-da-da-da. Well, this is what he is.
Wide open.
He's a speedster. He was open 2-3 times. And fucking Carfax. Okay, garbage. I mean, just, you know, this dude, man, again, before I get on him, this is it for Richie. We got to get on the fucking, like you said, the fans are calling for heads. I'm with him. It's just, I'm sorry, dude. You may be a nice guy. But when I see the San Diego Chargers take their multi-million-dollar second-year quarterback, third-year quarterback, high-priced quarterback, and design a play for a 2-point conversion, which is a double reverse. With Keenan Allen throwing to their quarterback, their multi-million-dollar rising superstar quarterback. That's imagination. That's a team I want to go see.
Exactly.
A 2-point conversion, double reverse.
Double reverse to the quarterback.
I don't think I've ever seen that other than maybe in Canada or something.
But
to the quarterback.
Honestly, it looks like Richie
Bisaccia
was told, like he got instructions, like he was threatened. He looked on the sidelines. He looks like he's been threatened, like, dude, don't do anything. You know, stand down. Stand down. And you know, I don't know what's happening, but his fire, his passion, you saw more of that. Of course, as special teams coach, but as head coach, you have to step into that leadership role, and that passion has to exude. And he just doesn't have it. And I really feel like something's holding him back too. Something's going on with this league.
Carr is holding him back. Carr's holding the whole team back. Okay, and you know, I gave y'all 4 games at the beginning of the season, and then I had to do what I do, man. You know, and I had to bring it back up and put it back out there. Okay, this shit is getting worse than, you know, black folks, my people, out here all enamored and fascinated with the fucking Illuminati. You know, it's the same type of thing. Like, what more do you motherfuckers need to know?
Right,
about the powers to be have a social structure that doesn't favor us.
Right.
What secret is going to be revealed by the Bilderberg group that y'all then not going to do nothing else about?
Okay.
Come on, listen to these goofy ass rappers and, you know, all this demonic stuff going on in the industry and the Illuminati and the Illuminati. This is what it's like with some of you Raider fans with Derek Carr. He is your fucking Illuminati.
Okay.
You know, it's like, you know what he is.
Right.
It's obviously not a secret anymore.
Right.
We all see that he sucks. But yet y'all are still waiting. There is something.
They want to wait.
You are waiting to be revealed.
Right.
And then you still ain't going to do shit.
Right.
Just like black folks with the Illuminati.
Right.
You know, what more secrets do you need to see from this motherfucker that you haven't seen?
Right. The passes, you know, behind the line.
The overthrows.
The overthrows.
Wide open. 2-point conversion in the back of the end zone.
Can't do it. You know, he doesn't have the mental capacity to pull off any wins. And like I said, he didn't even show up for preseason. And he's here playing like, you know, he still needs coaching. You're supposed to be the leader. You've been here 8 years. If you don't know this offense by now, like the back of your hand, you should be able to call plays and going in.
That motherfucker, you never see him over there. Richie's a new coach. Right. Okay, you've been the veteran. You're the de facto leader. Not to step on Richie's toes, and we know you're a respectable guy, and everybody loves you because, you know, you're a nice kid from Central Valley, and you're a good little Christian. And I'm going to tell you like this. Jesus ain't hearing your prayers, homie.
Okay.
Christ is not on your side right now. Okay? Just for FYI.
You know.
But, you know, it would be nice to see him over there with Richie going, you know, you don't see that.
Right.
You know, and bumping him like, hey, come here. Look, this is what we're going to run.
Right.
You know, you're not over there with Deshaun going, I know, man, I know. You want to get the ball to you.
Right.
You walk around doing this shit and, you know, all this old fake-ass glad-handing. Man, you are a pretentious motherfucker, man. And I am so sick of you. And I cannot wait until you are fucking gone. Okay? Because you are a fucking loser, dude.
Do this every year. Do this the same thing.
Really?
You have
nothing.
I
don't mean loser as a man. You're just a loser as a competent quarterback with any fire in his gut to want to go out and kill something.
No attack.
You know, you have no sense of attack, no sense of aggressiveness.
No killer instinct.
You're scary as fuck. All them damn sideline. What are you checking out of? That you keep checking into these bullshit ass sideline passes. We need 6 yards. You throw for 2 with some fake screen, and nobody's out there to block.
Right.
Who do I see about that, Derek? You, Olsen,
right?
Richie, all 3 of y'all. Right. Then all 3 of y'all got to fucking go.
Right.
Because that's disrespectful for the people paying $800 to sit in there, for my friend the Gorilla and Jungle Jane coming down here every home game, and for all the other fans driving in the fucking from Los Angeles, getting stuck in 20-mile backups going home.
Right.
To see that bullshit.
Right. And Josh Jacobs, who commented, He said, I think
fuck him too. He can't keep his damn feet half the time.
Somebody said he's soft as a pillow. Look in the mirror. But apparently he came out today and said that he thinks it's the mindset. I think we kind of just coast a little too much. It's definitely frustrating. It's like, Josh, you know, again, yes, like one of the commenters said, look in the mirror. It's you. Where's the fire? Where's the know-how? It's not your fault because, again, this has to be coordinated properly. And
there was a great disruption this season to the Raiders, and you know it was intentional. Ruggs, you know, that was also a drawback and a distraction for a while.
But now you got.
But you're professionals. You're making millions of dollars. You're in a first class, beyond first class, futuristic facility. You know, you play in a great football stadium, and you're in the entertainment capital of the world.
Man, get excited.
Like, what more fucking incentive do you need?
Right.
To come together in that locker room with anything. Override the coaches. Mutiny. We are pirates. Fuck them, Derek. You get up there and call the play yourself. Because I don't know what you're checking out or checking into. I'm very interested in the plays that you're checking out of. What were they going to be?
Right. What were they? That's real. You know, you do want to know that. It just doesn't make sense. 1, 2, 3, punt. 1, 2. I think the first play of the game was like a run pass, you know, like a pitch off or something like that to the right. It makes no sense. You're never going directly downfield, which is where the points are, right?
And coasting.
The points are in the
fuck
end
are you
zone.
Talking about? You got caught speeding last year, so you ain't coasting nowhere. Okay? But, I mean, coasting, that goes back to another time, about 10 years ago, where Randy Moss, Warren Sapp were coasting.
They were.
Stealing checks.
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to intimate?
Mm-hmm.
That motherfuckers are stealing checks?
Mm-hmm.
You know? Because some of you are out there stealing checks.
Mm-hmm.
Cars stealing checks.
Yes, $1 million a game, dude. You've got a lot to show for it.
This lack of imagination, lack of intensity on offense. You know, God bless the O-line. You guys have been playing solid. You're trying to do the best you can. What can you say about penalties? It happens. But talking about coasting, I mean, you're not supposed to be coasting. You guys barely got out of Dallas with a win. Derek Carr didn't win that game, by the way. Mm-hmm. For all you caraholics, okay? And, you know, for me, it's just gotten to the point where, you know, car voyage around this motherfucker, man.
Okay, car voyage.
Come out of Dallas, you barely win, and then 10 days later, this is what you come out with. And not only is it 10 days later, this is what the coaches come up with as a play calling, with their play calling and their playbook. But Derek Carr, you come back 10 days later, and you're no better than you were against the Giants.
Right.
But fuck your stats. This ain't baseball. Okay? Those stats, as I've said before when it comes to this guy, only good for him.
Yeah.
Great stats.
Literally.
But what the fuck does it do for the team?
Well, like they said, he's leading the league in passing. But yes, he's got over 3,000 yards passing, but he only has 17 touchdowns for the whole season. You see that? That's a problem. When you look at how many yards would Tim Brown have right now at this point of the season as a receiver? He'd have over 1,000 by now. Your top receiver, Renfro, only has 700 yards.
Check.
Check. Are you checking off again?
Check.
Wait. I still wait. I think this could happen. You know, I think it could come through. All of your receivers, nobody's got over 800 yards after 12 games. So that just shows you, you know, if you're looking at stats,
the inconsistency in the production.
Right. He's got 3,000 yards, but he's got 9 fumbles. He's got 8 interceptions. He's got 17 touchdowns. Out of 3,600 yards, you would think most of those would be touchdowns. But they are not complete. They're completing, but they're dink and dunk. He's still following that same rhythm.
Yeah, the West Coast offense.
That Chucky.
And these motherfuckers are playing a West Canadian Coast offense. Okay, it ain't even the conventional West Coast because I don't know about throwing the ball 2 yards back.
Right.
Hoping to get 7.
Makes no sense. Again, the points are in the red zone. and we're having a problem.
Yeah, the end zone's
with the red
that
zone.
way.
Right.
You know, the end zone is where the
Not
points
on the
are.
Sideline.
You know, so hit us at RaiderFanRadio@gmail. Let us know out there, Raider Nation, all our viewers out there. What do you think, IG? It's got to happen next. I know that, you know, really, you know, a lot of you, like Steph said, are calling for GM's heads or whatever.
Yeah,
but
they want them gone.
Like I say on this show, and like I tell my colleagues, I'm about solutions. It's enough to throw out, you want this guy gone, you want this guy gone, but I know a lot of you out there know football. Yeah. And you study football, you scout it, you guys are fantasy players and all that type of shit. You know, hit us up, RaiderFanRadio@gmail, and let us know what's the solution. Right. Who do we get? Throw some names out, you know, and, you know, some schemes. But, you know, the bottom line is the Raiders are a vertical team. That is our identity. And we have to get back to our identity. We're a legacy team, and they're just teams that are known for what they are and have been, and it works. It's a formula.
Yes, it's a formula, Raider formula.
And so
that's right.
That's the formula that we have to get back to. And our identity is a vertical team.
Right.
We're a vertical team, a stretch offense team, a spread offense team with a comparable backfield, a balance in the backfield, two tandem, running back, fullback.
Right.
And
where's that?
You know, Brutus tight ends that can catch, block, and run. We're about pulling the guards, attack. Where's the sweep? We got all the speed at running back. Where's the sweep?
Can't pull
Fucked around and got Kenyon Drake, another cat of mine that I was calling for this year to get his game on, and he was starting to. He gets hurt, you know, some bogus bullshit. Right. So, you know, 6-6. I said 11 and.
You said 11-6. So that means that they would have to go on to win.
They have to win out
everything else, and coming up with the Colts, the Chiefs, you know, the Broncos, which you know they're 6-6 also. But you know, we had our opportunity to dominate in our division, and we let it go.
To be in first place,
yeah.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. You know, and you all watched it.
Right.
And if you're going to be honest with yourself, you've watched how it's faltered.
Right.
And in general, the team is inconsistent. There's not enough fucking fire and imagination offensively.
Right.
And
we've had Greg Olsen before. That's the thing. It's like, why is this ownership or whoever's inside that's making these deals to bring in these people that aren't so talented? Greg Olsen has been with us before, and he still has not been able to capture, you know, the classic Raider football. He refuses to do it. It's been over 20 years. We have not seen it. Yes, the vertical game. That's our success. That's where the excitement is. You know, that's what people want to see. And when you have stellar receivers, you got everything you need. You know, don't be like Lance Kiffin. And, you know, it just, we're just going to be a team that runs the ball. We're going to be a team that doesn't blitz. I mean, who does that in the NFL in 2021? We're supposed to be in the future. The Raiders
who accepts that?
Get there.
Who accepts that from a coach? I mean, really, Mike Mayock? You accepted that from Gus Bradley?
Right.
You, one of the, you know, in the last 10, 15 years, one of the great, you know, scouting minds, you know, in football. I've watched you on NFL Network the last decade. That's where I first, you know, really became interested in you and wanted to see you become, you know, part of this organization. And, you know, ta-da, another one happened for me. I can prove it. I even sent it to you and showed you the text yourself, Mike Mayock, and I know you got it.
Right.
You know, because we're the biggest thing here in this city, you know, despite what our chat room says right now. Like, subscribe, and share, and make sure you hit the bell. And so, you know, that's what it comes down to. Who would accept that?
Well, I think one of our fans said in the comments,
particularly playing in the AFC West, not to do all stuff, with a mobile Justin Herbert with the arm that he has, you know, and making nobody's a name and keeping the career of Keenan Allen alive, Patrick Mahomes with his mobility, and whatever Denver's eventually going to do, because they're not going to sit on the sidelines long. John Elway, you know, is a killer. Okay, and so he's not going to sit there long. He went and got Peyton Manning. Remember that.
Okay,
so he's not going to sit there long. All you Raider fans, Russell Wilson may end up in Denver.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily want him here in the town. I still got my eye on Aaron Rodgers. That's for another day and another time. But, you know, you 6-6. I don't see the playoffs on the horizon. It's another dead season, sadly, because fans were back.
Yeah.
And for the Raider fans that are showing up and are out here coming to support your team, it's been just a real porous display. Right. There's no excitement, and there's nothing really entertaining about the team. No. And, all, like I said, of the, situations aside that happened with Gruden and, of course, the loss of Trina Tinter to the hands of Henry Ruggs. But, you're multimillionaires, you're professionals, man. Enough is enough. Yeah. And when is enough going to be enough fucking around with carr-diculous' ass?
Right.
Honestly, because obviously the team,
Carriota. What are you going to do there? A lot of fans are calling for Marcus.
You had Marcus in. He comes in for 2 plays. He's moving the offense, and then you bring Bumsky's ass back in, and this dump truck fucks around, and again we go dead in the red.
That's right. Yep.
With him,
you had
to kick a field goal.
Right.
Why wouldn't you have let Mariota play out that series?
Right. Because Carr's too fragile to take Mariota having some success on the field. We're supposed to be all one team, right? Yeah, he's fragile. He's not going to have him come out there and not have to check off and be passing it in fluid motion the way that he
Then what does that say about him being a team player?
And a leader.
Homer.
Who can get it
Shout out to Homer and Oaktown Raider Savage. They allegedly came here and took over the town, and Vegas didn't know what they were in for.
That's right.
Well, I didn't see you motherfuckers nowhere. Y'all didn't get in a brawl, or y'all didn't get y'all didn't get any chicks or nothing. I thought y'all were going to make news, man. I thought it was going to be a good splash. I was going to wake up and see Raider Homer and Oaktown Raider Ravage take over.
They might have gotten kidnapped by a bunch of Redskins fans because it was so difficult to really see silver and black in there in the stadium this past game. Home field advantage is really something that is key, and we know how loud and proud the Raider Nation was in Oakland. So something's got to give, something's got to be done, or else. Yeah, maybe one day the Raiders won't be here either.
It's all possible. Anything's possible under God.
This is not good.
No, it's not good. 6-6, but who we got next? We got Denver. I don't know who we play next, but whoever
we play the freaking Chiefs next.
Oh, it's the Chiefs again?
And I think we're away in Indianapolis with the Colts.
Right, in 2 weeks. Well,
right, we're gone for 2 weeks.
The bottom line is, as they say here on mainstream football shows or whatever, the Raiders are in the hunt, and I'm sick of seeing us in the hunt whenever we are good. But the bottom line is, to be in the hunt, you got to go hunting.
Right.
You got to be out there hunting.
On the attack.
And so I compete what the NFL is trying to do, and I'm not happy about it. But it's obvious that, based on the game last night, as we come to you, Buffalo and New England, 14-10 win by New England, and just this miraculous resurrection by the Patriots with Matt Jones, who only threw 3 passes last night. Yet they had a run game that ran roughshod over the Bills, what have you. And then Tampa, had a little bump in the road over the last 3 games, but last 2 games have started to catch their stride. So I think we see where this is headed.
Right.
The NFL is trying to set up Tampa Bay Buccaneers, New England Patriots.
Again.
And then really comes down to which sucker-ass AFC team gonna bow and step to the side. And that's the one thing I'm glad about is that there may not be a possibility of us getting to the playoffs and winning in the playoffs, so we'd have to play New England and get our asses whooped and have the referees tear us a new one. If it was a choice between us getting to the Super Bowl or to the AFC Championship and New England was in our way, or we were in theirs.
Woo.
So I'm glad that's not a possibility.
Yeah.
Because they're damn sure that's what they're doing.
Yeah, they're setting
you can see it coming.
Calling it.
I'm calling it. New England, Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl.
That is so predictable. They're already talking about how Brady's the MVP again, and we're only 12 games in. This is sickening. And if you want parity, NFL, you definitely have a really bad version
Well, the
of it.
season isn't even over yet. I mean, the Pats could lose the rest of their games for all we know. But you're hearing
would
in the
think.
mainstream sports media, the Pats are back.
Right.
Oh, it was only a 1-year layoff. Look how they recovered so fast.
Right.
The odds-on favorite to go to the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Derek
Y'all
Carr
know
is
what's
leading
up.
in passing. It's all
Who?
like sound bites.
Oh, Derek Carr.
It's just the sound bites, when you listen to what they're actually saying. It's like, no, that's not exactly what's happening right now on the field. That's not exactly what's happening in the league. We see the trends. We can call it too, but everything is so highly controlled and censored when it comes to any talk about the NFL and what's really happening. Clearly, nobody was really talking about what was going on with Washington being here and them being the reason why, Gruden is gone. I mean, like all the mystery and the intrigue of what's really happening in the league, nobody's discussing it.
Yeah, they didn't bring that up at all. But, onward and forward, Chucky is, apparently going forward with his lawsuit. Speaking of lawsuits, I learned something today, a little more about a new law that's out when it comes to copyright infringement, intellectual property ownership, and what have you, creative control of your artistic ideas and what have you. Had to meet with some legal people downtown. That's why I'm kind of dressed here. And because my lawyers in LA are getting ready to start shipping shit to the people here in Vegas that are going to be representing me. And we're still working out some of the fine details of what firm I'm going to go with here. But met with some people today, and they had already gotten ahead of the game because they know what the case is about and are interested in it. And finding this NIL, name, image, and likeness. Now, this is something we used to talk about years ago, about owning the rights to yourself and what have you. And we used to call it back then intellectual property, of course, but also independent, it's just basically, I'm an independent artist and I own, all the, promotional and all the ideas, and it's all surrounded and intertwined with my individual indie persona and what have you. Well, of course, we know how that goes. That can be ripped off too, and people can take liberties when you're independent and whatever. So they're getting more laws now to protect artists and protect creatives and people like us. And talking to these guys today, they were filling me in on that, and they had found there was a picture years ago that was in the bathroom at the Coliseum. Remember, it was me. It was in the hole. Me, Skell, Rhinestone, Rhinestone Raider, Lady Rhinestone Raider. I think Bertle was in it, Black Hole Bertle. But it was this picture that I remember people coming to me that day in the hole talking about, man, have you seen this advertisement in the bathroom of y'all? I'm like, nah, and I go to the bathroom to take a leak. And sure enough, there's this advertisement for, I forgot what the company was, but the guy was telling me today about how that's name, image, and likeness. Okay. That there's, a now law that protects the rights of you as a person whose image is used in anything that promotes an entity that can bear a revenue. Okay. And that they can profit from. Okay. If your image and likeness. So that's why you're starting to see on TV, and particularly some of these sporting games or whatever, this blurring of the crowd sometime, or the blurring of somebody with maybe a unique sign that has a phrase or something, in case that, like Raider Nation, in case something gets out there, you can't say, oh, they stole because they saw it on TV or whatever, blah, 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 or you used it, and my image and my likeness flashed on CBS, and you took my phrase off my sign, and that it's all the same thing that I've been going through for the last 20 years. So Raider Nation. It was really interesting learning about the name, image, and likeness thing, and it's great for college kids now because it's helping them now get paid, outright. All right. Because their name, and we've been arguing this forever in sports, and we talked about it forever on this show about just how the profiteering, from the corporations benefit them more than it benefit, particularly in college, the kids who are making all this money and the jerseys and what have you being sold with their names on. They can't get nothing from it. So that's changing now. So this NIL law, real interesting. Look into it, all you independent artists out there, especially you creative types in music, and then what we're doing here in these platforms of network news, independent network news and independent network talk shows and podcasts and whatever. Yeah. You know,
wow. Name, image, and likeness.
Yeah, it's pretty deep.
That makes total sense, because when I've looked up the black hole and I've looked you up in Getty Images, you're there. Getty like owns your image.
They own me.
Of you with, I think you had one of the Moss signs.
Right.
I know
Ocho No.
I know the Kiffin Must Go thing is out there too. All of those signs and images of you that really help to promote the Raiders and promote the team. And so much of that happened over the course of 20 years. So that's fascinating. And I'm glad to see that that's happening, that it's all kind of coming in together at the same time with your lawsuit and in regards to Raider Nation, and coming out, and seeing the laws that are now in place to protect people that are artists, that are creatives. So that's wonderful. Good news.
Yeah, it is good news. It was good to see that. And, they were telling me about how he had a client at one point who was a fan, similar type of situation. And he was superimposed into a poster that was being used to sell like ice cream or something in this particular, I think it was Texas or Louisiana, the state, but it was a fan, Saints fan, I think it was. Yeah, Louisiana. But anyway, and he knew nothing about it.
Wow.
Meanwhile, this prominent ice cream company was doing some type of tie-in with the Saints and the Who Dat thing and Who Dat got ice cream or some shit. It was something like that. But this particular fan who dresses up and is at the Saints games and well known, they superimposed him. And he didn't know about it. It ran for a couple years, and he found out about it, and they sued the company, and there was a settlement for them using his likeness. So anyway, that's what's going on there. Las Vegas, Nevada, may be in tune, Steph, for a second brand of football. Some more football coming to Las Vegas, but it would be in the form of the round football.
Oh, okay.
What we like to call soccer?
The original football?
Soccer for you, sucker? No. The original football. Soccer. Las Vegas. We may be getting the team here in a couple years.
All right. We're constantly getting teams.
Yeah. Well, this is what the commissioner for the MLS said. He just said, I love with what's happening in Vegas sports-wise. I can't quite make sense of it,
right.
But he's like, I've been in the sports entertainment business for 25 years and I've never seen nothing like it.
Wow.
Just the talk within the industry of sports business of people wanting to align themselves with Las Vegas when it comes to athletics and sports. Talk of a lacrosse team coming here in the future.
Okay.
And some other, of course, we know we got the indoor football league team coming. It's going to be playing out here at the Dollar Tree Arena. Not Dollar Tree Arena, Dollar Loan Center out in Henderson here. So the MLS team would be co-owned by the two guys that own Aston Villa, team over in the Premier League.
Okay.
I just watched them the other night play Everton. And they've already put a trademark out for the name. It would be the Las Vegas Villains.
All right.
Would be the name of the team.
LVP.
Yeah, one of the owners is some type of mega billionaire from Egypt. And like I said, they own Aston Villa together.
Yeah.
So look out for the Las Vegas Villains.
All right.
Possibly in 2023. The MLS has got a team in Charlotte. And I think another one's going to be in San Antonio or something before Phoenix or something like that. Before they decide on the 30th team. But Las Vegas is the front runner now to get the MLS's 30th team.
Wow.
In about 2 years. So that's great news here.
Yes.
For Las Vegas.
So it's a chance that we might play the Oakland Root. Well, the Oakland.
No, that's the USL.
That's the USL.
Yeah, that's that other league.
Okay. They got to break into this so that we can figure out a way to get both teams to play. That would be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's two different levels, but the MLS is the more professional.
Okay.
The top tier right now in American soccer. So anyway, something to look forward here in Las Vegas. All us Las Vegans out there, our Las Vegas people, something to look forward to. Also to look forward to, well, you can look forward to in show 29, the return of Flyer Night Rob. But before then, I just want to give y'all a quick just an NHL update and note. My Flyers have fired finally head coach Alain Vigneault. He's just a bum. Had no concept. Again, a legacy team, Broad Street Bullies fame, and just, always tough, stout goalies. You go Ron Heck style, Pete Peters, whatever, all the way back to Bernie Perron. But, just a coach that just couldn't motivate, the Flyers, who, have some great players. Getting long in the tooth with Claude Giroux. He'll be done soon. But the one thing about the Flyers is that, they don't sit around too long and let a coach just stink up the joint.
That's what I'm saying.
Before they'll get rid of his ass.
I was going to ask you that.
A lot of people back in Philly, may think he should have been gone last year or what have you. But he's gone now. The Flyers tapping out so far as the season is 24 games in, 8-11. And we just came off an 8-game loss the other night, losing to Tampa Bay, the world champions, or the Stanley Cup champions, 7-1. Okay. And that was the end of it for Vigneault. So he is gone. We'll see who the new coach is going to be in the interim.
They're not going to wait and see.
Yeah.
They've made a decision.
Yeah, I mean, when you lose 8 games in a row, particularly in the NHL, where you got the point system too, you can't have
it's
that.
Over.
Here in Vegas, the beautiful T-Mobile Arena, VGK, and the Armory, they're in 4th place in the Pacific at 14-10. And the best team in the NHL to watch out for are the Panthers down in Florida, rising up again. They already got a Stanley Cup, or a couple of them, I think, since they came into the league in 94, 95. So, keep your eyes, Sugar White Mike. I know you got your money on the Panthers down there, but they're 17-4, and they're just out there banging.
Wow, they're
Big
banging.
team, fast. And, right now, Florida, of all places, is dominating hockey between the Tampa Bay Lightning, defending champions in the NHL, and with the Panthers doing 24 games. And so it's still early in the NHL, but the bottom line is when it comes to Flyer Night Rob and my teams, God damn it, I'm not catching any breaks here. But it's all good. It's all good. Flyer Night Rob will be back, show 29 for y'all, full regalia, bringing you a little more in-depth, overview of the NHL, and
we got to look at it because, it's part of Las Vegas now. In this city, the desert, we are known for hockey now. And that's interesting that you bring up this sign. I know we are.
It's the Soul Train Scramble Board.
Scramble that.
Scramble that, folks.
Come up with.
It's going to spell something very relevant.
Right now, Twitter is keeping that sign, what's being said on that sign. They're keeping it from trending. But folks, it is definitely out there. And if you haven't heard of the moronic, in reference to being an acronym,
the moronic virus, man,
for Omicron, then go back to 1963. There was an Italian film called Omicron. Same thing.
Huh.
And it's a movie. You can find it on IMDb. It's
put that right down. Can we show the people?
Yeah. There you go. Yes. Check that out, folks. 1963, an Italian film called Omicron, which is the same as moronic. It's about an alien that takes over a human's body so it can learn about humanity and take over the planet. Sound familiar? Reasonable people.
Sound like Mark and Mindy.
Look at the takeover of human bodies and turning them into GMO beings. Kind of similar. And on The Simpsons, an episode called The Full Monty, which aired November 21st, 2010, almost exactly 11 years to the Omicron variant premiere. The episode was about TV executives creating a fear-mongering campaign around a disease called the house cat flu. So clearly, people had an idea of, why they would use Omicron to describe this new variant that's appeared. So please put your thinking caps on, pay attention to what's happening around you, and definitely keep your immune systems high, eat your vegetables, take off those pounds that are extra, and,
drink your whiskey, drink your whiskey straight,
drink your wine, but everybody wake up, and definitely I'm going to check out that movie.
Yeah, wake up, get aware, be aware, keep yourself educated, and don't be scared of different opinions, and don't be scared of different news. Despite, the powers that be and the fact that they are trying to censor and block and keep, the people from talking amongst themselves publicly about, their questions and doubts about, what's coming out and what's being suggested in diagnoses and analysis and scientific versus what you feel in your gut. Think. It ain't illegal yet.
Exactly.
And you still have that right to choose and think for yourself, and don't give it up. It's tough times right now, man, as far as the battle between wills, that we're going through here. Yeah. And so, just stay on the right side of what you know, and believe what you want to believe. That's also your right too. So,
yes.
I'm not telling you not to, and we're never advocating for you not to do what you think is right for you. But, again, awareness, is key to knowing, all of what's going on,
Yes.
Protect your neck, as Wu-Tang Clan would suggest. Protect your neck, man.
Protect your neck.
That's
Comment,
what's up.
like, subscribe, and definitely share Raider Fan Radio. And we can't wait for the premiere of the website, because then you're going to be able to chat freely. You're going to be able to leave comments freely, as opposed to
right, M-Gons. You won't have to worry about nobody taking your comment down.
Right.
Right. Before we get out of here, we have to acknowledge it is the 80th unfortunate anniversary of a day that has, for 80 years, lived in infamy. As President Roosevelt said back on December 7th, 1942, Pearl Harbor is being remembered today, and all the still living veterans of that tragedy in the Bay of Honolulu and in Hawaii so many years ago, 80 years ago, who are still alive. Salute to you, gentlemen. And that, of course, was an incident, an event that spearheaded the United States into World War II. And if you don't know your history, Google it. If you do know your history, you know what history you got from World War II and who all the participants and players were. We don't have to rehash that. But a salute to all you World War II veterans out there, and remembering today, 80 years ago, Pearl Harbor, the attack on Pearl Harbor by the Empire of Japan. But everybody, Japan's doing okay.
It's interesting that you said that too. I know we're on our way rolling out, but oh my goodness, there's a storm. You were saying a blizzard, and I was reading about a blizzard happening in
Yes,
Hawaii.
There's been a warning 2 days ago. They were 3 days ago. Hawaii and was put on blizzard watch.
That's crazy.
And that there was an expectation that Hawaii may get snow as early as this weekend.
That's not a good look.
Ain't that something? Also, for all my folks on the East Coast, all right, up from Maine, Bangor, all the way down to Virginia Shores, Hilton Head, South Carolina.
All right.
Okay. The people that deal with aquatics, deal with the ocean,
yes,
and study sea life, reported 2 days ago that great white sharks are amassing greatly, bigly, on the eastern seaboard, setting themselves up for a summer of
delight. A feast. Wow.
So be careful out there this summer when you're out on Fire Island and Coney Island and down in Hilton Head and off the coast of Newport News and anywhere up along the eastern seaboard. Great whites are coming for y'all asses. Okay, they are amassing. Okay, off the coast, and they're getting ready. They're getting an early jump. They're getting their seats, getting in position. As soon as y'all get y'all asses out there with your umbrellas and your motherfucking surfboard and all that shit. So I'm looking forward to something. I can't wait. See the great whites and how they lock down the East Coast and watch. It's gonna be hella hot too. It's probably gonna be hella hot this summer. Yes, and the sharks gonna be out there. You're not gonna know what to do with yourself. You know, but be safe. Be careful. We don't need Jaws 12 around.
Right. They are apex predators for a reason.
In IMAX. Did they ever put Jaws on IMAX? Did it ever get re-released? Or
it probably, I'm sure it has by now.
Now I'd like to see it on IMAX.
They play it every year in July. It's almost like the Twilight Zone. So I'm sure it's been released by one of the studios in IMAX version. It's 3D. They've had 3D, so
yeah, 3D was pretty good.
There's been IMAX.
I remember Friday the 13th for 3D. That was pretty good too.
Get your books, get your coloring book, of course. Go out and make sure you're reading some of the things that are out there. We definitely loved you joining us live. And if you're going to join us on the replay, make sure that you comment, like, and subscribe, and definitely share Raider Fan Radio. And we'll be getting back together again for probably another Christmas show. And then show number 29 will be back at you.
Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, StonerDudeArt.com for the Stoner Dude coloring book just released, and 24 full pages of great, art by our man Stoner Dude, our co-host. Get this; it'd be great for the holidays and Christmas gift, especially for young, aspiring, up-and-coming artists or the creative in you. Get this; it's real fun to have. Yeah, the Raiders. 6-6. This has been the Raider Fan Radio Live 6-6 recap show. And our next opponent, what did we say it was? Kansas City?
Kansas City.
Good luck. Hopefully you will adjust. You had 10 days after you beat Dallas on Thanksgiving. And this is what you came back with this past weekend. I hope that you will take a cue from what we've said about what the rest of the Raider fans are talking about and what they want to see. And go out fighting, but go out, with a little imagination, with a little, just you have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose. Go out there and just wing it, man. Throw all the technicality bullshit to the side, all the particulars to the side, all the formality to the side, and just go play football, man.
Yeah.
Just turn it loose and just go play football. And if you can find it in your cojones, play Raider football. Los Raider football, man. Aggressive, physical, intentional, purposeful, and more than anything, win. Just win, baby. We'll see you next time on Raider Fan Radio. Thank you so much for joining us. Peace.
Peace.